Oh, Zekvir nerfed again. I mean, like I said, Blizzard just doesn't want us doing Zekvir anymore. They're sick of people doing him. They just want it to become irrelevant content, and they are doing their best to make that happen. Let's talk a little bit about that change and a few other things coming into the game. So, what am I talking about when I'm talking about Zekvir? Well, from now on, defeating Zekvir in his lair now only rewards crests and valor stones once per week per character. So there you go. You know, remember how we kept talking about that this is like the best valor stone farm. This is the best way to get your stones and crests and stuff like that. Go out there, try Zekvir, do Zekvir, fuck Zekvir, whatever you want to do. Just leave him alone now. Don't even do him. He's not even worth it anymore. Maybe you could do it for the achievement, but and maybe to learn some characters or something like that. Get your dirigible void mount thing. Other than that, delete him from the game. Don't do him. Don't bother with him. The guy's fucking useless at this point. He's been nerfed into the ground pretty hard. He was a good way to get a bunch of crests, do a bunch of things, and you know, Blizz don't like that. They don't like people having fun, so they got rid of that shit. Gone are the days of looting Zekvir multiple times, and now it's not just once per. I mean, I thought maybe they'd make it once per day, yeah, per week, yeah. You cannot loot this guy too much. So, glory to the people who already did it. Everyone who already funneled their time into killing him multiple times and getting a bunch of Valor Stones, hey, you're ahead, at least up until that cap of 2k. You're ahead of everybody else now, so congratulations to you. Yeah, exactly. He's a cosmetic farm now. That's exactly what I was saying, Sick Breed. If you want to get the Void Mount, you want to get some of the other stuff, yeah, he's a good way to go ahead and get that stuff. But beyond that, in terms of, like, actual gear progression and shit, yes, he's whatever now. Anyways, there are a few other things that corrected an issue where controlled destructions for damage bonus to ignite wasn't working properly for fire mages, and then for demonology they fixed an issue where Rune Nation and Inferno Bolt could not be interrupted. So there you go. Man, that would suck for anybody who saw that coming, tried to interrupt it, and got rocked in PvP or something. So Wrath of the Lich King Timewalking changes that we'll talk about as well. The Dawnbreaker, Rashanan will no longer continue fighting the player after being brought to 60% health. That's an interesting one, pretty good. So I guess the glitch where he continued to fight is no longer there. Resolved an issue causing encroaching shadows to be removed by immunity effects. Okay, good for that. Siege of Borealis. Resolving an issue causing fiery or Rioshit, rocket, whatever this is, to not apply its damage over time if a target was far away. They also resolved an issue that caused sighted artillery to not target players farther away from the Dread Captain Lockwood. Siege of Borealis had a bunch of shit going on. Stone Vault resolved an issue causing summons, such as auto hammers, from destroying volatile spikes on eDNA. So there you go. A bunch of stuff changed in the raid too. We're going to get into that. So let's talk a little bit about the raid and some of the changes they made in terms of that. There's actually one really funny thing that they had to fix in the raid that we'll talk about here in a second. But this is just straight up some of the changes they made. Basically nerfs across the board. Queen Ansurek got much easier now in Heroic. They reduced her toxic damage by 15%, her blast damage by 15%, and when calculating application of frothy toxin, only living players are now counted. Oh, Jesus. They were counting dead players towards the maximum possible application amount on Heroic and Mythic difficulties. That's good. If half the raid was dead, that means the other half was basically going to get poisoned. So there you go. And then same for Mythic. A bunch of crazy reductions. Every single one of these is a reduction, a nerf, whether we're talking about reducing damage for a bunch of abilities, reducing health for Queen Ansurek and some others, reducing cast times, or sorry, increasing cast times, I should say, reducing more damage here and here. A ton of just basically nerfs across the board. Queen Ansurek should become much easier for anybody trying to power through on Mythic difficulty on her. And this is what we expect. You know, this always happens this time of the raiding schedule, that we start to see a bunch of nerfs coming in. I'm gonna keep swinging on the swinging at players. Yeah, good luck. These changes were expected, as I said. They usually happen. But something else that was unexpected, I should say, is this. So evidently, in the raid, people were allowed to use some PvP. Now, how the hell this was discovered? You know, just leave it up to degenerates to play WoW to discover every nook and cranny and crack in terms of how to get around shit. So, turns out that some of the PvP trinkets from Mara were actually being able to be used in the raid. So we're talking about Electric Shock and Holy Barrage, which is, or Brigade, I should say. which were, yeah, fine. You increase some, throw some healing down, do some damage. But the funniest one was the web pull. So this is basically a PvP trinket that gives everybody else death grip, right? Because everyone wants to be a death knight at the end of the day. Everyone wants to RP as a death knight. You know, us death knights, we're very few and far in between. We truly are the greatest players in the game. But everyone else who isn't a death knight can get death grip, at least in PvP, via this web pull, item. Well, people found out that they could use it in the raid to web pull bosses, especially on the court, and interrupt their casts. So PvP were using it. People were using it to pull the bosses around the room constantly, stopping them from casting anything, and then killing the boss. Yeah, it's freaking hilarious. So PvP item, not trinket. Yeah, my bad. A PvP item. I misspoke when I said trinket. So they were using it to pull the bosses around, which is freaking hilarious. I tried to look for clips of this. I couldn't find any where people were actually getting this done. But yeah, interrupting the boss's cast times by pulling them all over the room is obviously a game-breaking mechanic. Blizzard found out that this was going down, and now they disabled it. So this can no longer be used in the raid. Fun while it lasted, I'm sure. I wish somebody had clipped it and posted it somewhere, because this probably looked hilarious. But yeah, gone are the days of web pulling the bosses all around the room. That has now been removed from the game. Moving on to some other interesting things. We know the anniversary event is coming up. What I didn't know is all the other events are going to continue at their same cadence, right? So you're still going to have all the regular things, Black Moon, Dark Moon Fair, a bunch of other, Timewalking, things like that, going through their typical rotations. So Wrath of the Lich King Timewalking is going to come back around on November 26th, right? We just finished it right now, and we're going to go back to it again on November 26th. And there are some new items being added to the Wrath of the Lich King Timewalking event that weren't currently available in 11.0.5. So some of those new items are, in fact, we got a flying carpet mount, right? The enchanted Spellweaver carpet. We also have Spectre, the new White Wolf of Northrend battle pet. Oh my god. Who is that? Damn it, I left the blurps on. Okay, yeah, who is that? Conese, yeah, very hyped and excited. Yes, indeed. They're also adding some other things, including 2 new ensembles. So we got this new mage one, this roguey boy looking one. This is pretty cool. Is this mail or plate? This is, yeah, I don't know. This is leather. Okay, we got leather mail here. And the plate one. Okay. So nice new ensembles. We got the cloth, a different colorway, I guess, of this one. And then I think this is mail. I want to say mail. I haven't figured this out yet. It might be plate, actually. Yeah, it's plate. It's a new colorway of the plate version. So that's pretty cool. 2 new versions of these that you'll be able to get if you already got the other ones. That's cool. If you don't care, that's fine too. The tabards. We got a new Alliance one and a Horde one. So Explorers League tabard for the Alliance here, and then the Horde will get the Hand of Vengeance tabard. So these are 2 cool new tabards that you'll be able to buy. 500 crests each, 500 time walking badges, say, each. That's pretty nice. And then all the same items, but 2 new added ones here. We got the Battered Bulkwork of the Argent Crusade. Really badass shield appearance here. I mean, if you're into, Argent Crusade looking stuff, obviously kind of fits the Paladin transmogs right now that you're getting in Hallowfall. This is a glorious looking shield, and if you can use a shield, I would suggest you go get it. And then obviously too, we have a new, what is this, axe? Yeah, a new axe. The Drakari Head Splitter. So we got a new axe. This looks very trollish. It's got some troll looking stuff on it. A nice baby blue axe. If you're into that, you can go ahead and get that as well. This shield, to me, that's the winner. If you're a shielder, you got to get this. This is for sure cool. The Horde tabards 100% better. Yeah, it probably is. I agree. But hey, the Lions can't win everything. We only win wars. Moving on to some interesting stuff here. Blizzard finally announced the new art contest. I remember looking at this. I look at this every year to see who won and everything, because some of the artists do some really good jobs. If you're an artist out there, you're into doing art, especially WoW art, this is your chance to kind of, shine, right? October 14th it began, and it will continue until January 26th. That's when the submissions will close. You can go ahead and submit your art. There's a giant blue post on how to do so. The link will be below, and I'll put this in chat. If you're interested in doing art, kicking off a hype train. Oh my god. And going ahead and doing all the art things, yes, go ahead and submit your stuff, get your art in, and we'll be reviewing it probably at the end of the contest to see who actually won here on the stream. Proud of you, Sam, for remembering to turn. I did not remember. Because friggin' Conesia got it in. Conesia submitted a blurb, in the middle of the news, and I was like, oh shit, I left it on. Also, YouTube, hi. I don't forget to praise our Canadian balding rat man. Oh, thank you.